Okay, good morning, students. Today our lesson is World Between the World Wars. So today we are discuss about 20th century. What major consequences happened in 20th century? Our topic is about 20th century. 20th, Eric Hobsbawm is a famous historian. He written Age of Extremes books. So in this Age of Extremes books, the 20th century is called as Age of Extremes. Why 20th century is the age of extremes? Because in the world, one hand fascism was growing, other hand and also democracy also growing. The aim of the goal of the idea of fascism is unquestioned power and hated other European people. So, in some countries like Italy and Germany, fascism and Nazism is growing, but in other hand, democracy also growing in some other countries. In 20th century, the average life expectancy rate also growing because so many discoveries was discovered in the field of medicine in 20th century. Literacy levels also very become high because the people had access to better education. New art forms like movies also came in. Movies also became known in which century? 20th century. In the field of science, new discoveries new science in science also new discoveries was made. The new discoveries about life and atoms. The more than 100 countries got freedom in the 20th century. Now some countries like USSR, United Soviet Socialist Republic, United Soviet Socialist Republic, some Russia and some countries are experimented with socialism. What is the meaning of socialism? It is a very important. Socialism means the land is owned by the government or the state. So socialism, what is the meaning of socialism? Land is owned by the government or land is owned by the state. That is we call as socialism. So socialism is implemented in Russia. The best example for socialism is which country? Russia. So factories and banks are and also adapted planning development. Russia also adapted which development? Planned development. So why the Russia is implementing socialism? Because in the Russia it brings to ensure equality and fraternity among all the people. That's why Russia is implementing socialism. Some other countries, USA adopted liberal democracy. USSR, Russia adopted single party democracy, but USA, America adopted multi party democracy. And also, USA promoted capitalist system or capitalism. What is the meaning of capitalism? Socialism means land is owned by the government or state, but capitalism means the land is or production is owned by the private persons. So, at the beginning of 20th century, the world industrial countries are divided into west and east, or west and two groups are divided into industrial countries divided into two, that is west includes Britain, USA, Germany, France, Italy, etc. These are all are six are industrial countries: Britain, USA, Germany, France, Italy, Russia. And colonized countries are Asia and Africa countries are colonized countries. These countries were under control of developed nations. The Asia countries and African countries are under control of USA, Britain, Germany, France, Russia. The industrial countries, now the industrial countries, which are industrial countries? Britain, USA, Germany, France, Italy. These industrial countries splitted into or divided into two enemy groups or two blocks. The first enemy group is Germany, Austria, Hungary. The Germany, Austria, Hungary was one side. The another side is Britain, France, Russia. So these industrial countries are divided into two groups. One group is Germany, Austria, Hungary. The second group is Britain, France, Russia. So these two groups, they want each group they want dominate over the world and control many colonies and for their markets, if they're possible. The first world war began in 1914. It was really world war because almost all the countries involved in the first world war. In west, US involved. In east, China, Japan also involved first world war. So the first world war started in 1914, but it was ended in 1918. Britain in this First World War, Britain and France defeated the Germany. The victorious countries are Britain, France, but defeated countries Germany and its allied countries, Germany, Austria, Hungary, are defeated countries. Britain, France, USA, Russia are the winning countries or victorious countries. So why? What are the reasons for the First World Wars? The first reason is aggressive nationalism. What is the meaning of aggressive nationalism? Nationalism means strong feeling about their nation. Simply, nationalism means strong feeling about their nation. This ideology, nationalism was ideology. It was a positive impulse to any country. But many newly formed states, modern nations were created. So this nationalism was created by newly formed modern nations or newly formed countries in the Europe. Nationalism means people's strong feeling of nationalism or people's strong feeling on their nation. So it was nationalism was created by Germany and Italy. So one is Germany and Italy. But ideology created pride to their nations but hated against neighboring countries. So nationalism means this ideology was created pride to all the nations but hated against all the neighboring countries. So India, Italian fascism and nationalism of German Nazism, also other forms of aggressive nationalism. Actually, nationalism is strong feeling about their nation and hated other countries people, other neighboring countries people. In Italian fascism, in Nazism or other forms of nationalism. Sometimes it is a very pride to our nation, but if fascism and Nazism is the destructive mode from 1923. Fascists promoted aggressive nationalism, but Germany ruling victorious Germany on the image of victorious Germany. The Germany was a victorious country in 1870. That on that image, the Germany want ruling over the world. Germany Germany rulers also mobilized Germans against to the other nations of Europe. So this means simply nationalism means a strong feeling about their nation and hated other neighboring countries. So this nationalism was created by Italy and Germany. Fascism and Nazism are the other forms of nationalism. So it is a nationalism is a pride to every nation, but it is a destructive mode from the 1923. So it was created newly formed states. Nationalism was created by newly formed states, that is Italy and Germany. So second one is imperialism. Second reason is imperialism. With the growth of industrial capitalism, means which are industrial countries? Britain, France, Russia, Italy, Germany. These are the industrial countries. All the industrial countries, they increased industrial capitalism. So European countries like Britain, Germany, US needed what? Industrial countries need what? Raw materials and market their products. They want to invest. They want to invest their growing capital in colonial countries. Thus, by the end of 19th century, a race was started between the European powers. A race was started between the industrial powers. So the newly emerged countries like Germany, Italy, they asked to redivide the colonies. But old industrial powers like Britain, France, Russia, not ready to divide the colonial powers. This is created a lot of tension. It was leads to the First World War and Second World War. The second reason is imperialism. Means industrial countries they increase a lot of capitalism. So they want industrial countries what they want raw materials and market for their products. They want also invest growing capital in colonial countries. But newly emerged countries what they asked to redivide the colonial countries. But old colonial countries are not ready to divide the colonial countries. This is leads to the Second World War and First World War. So next, secret alliance. Third reason is secret alliance. In 1870, after France was defeated by the Germany, Bismarck is the German chancellor who led unification of Germany. Means the Germany was united in 1870. It was united by which person? Bismarck. Bismarck is the who is the Bismarck? Bismarck is the Germany chancellor. So the Germany chancellor Bismarck wanted to isolate. They want isolate the France. Isolate means ఒంటరి చేయడం. ఒంటరి చేయాలనుకున్నాడు. He made secret alliance. Secret alliance, friendship alliance means secret alliance with Austria in 1879 and Italy and Austria in 1882. So to France ఒంటరి చేయడానికి to isolate the France. So Germany chancellor made a agreement with or alliance with Austria in 1879 and Italy and Austria in 1882. Hence it is called as Triple Alliance. The Triple Alliance was made by Germany. To counter the Triple Alliance, France also made France also made alliance with Russia in 1891 and with Britain 1904 to protect to protect itself, to protect the country itself. Russia, France, Britain formed their triple intent. So Germany, Austria, Italy formed triple alliance, but France, Russia, Britain was formed triple entente in 1907. Triple alliance led by Germany means the triple alliance leader is Germany, but triple entente is made by European powers is a jealousy and suspicious one another. The two groups are there. The one is the triple alliance and triple entente. These two groups are feeling a jealousy and suspicious on each other. Instead of real peace in the world, it was created armed peace in the Europe. Okay, for the isolate to isolate the France, Germany made agreement with Austria and Italy, and France made agreement with Russia and Britain. So triple alliance was formed in 1882. Triple entente was formed in 1907. So next one, militarism. The fourth reason is militarism. They decided the world industrial countries decided militarism. They believed, all the industrial countries believed military power is the best way to ensure security and solve all the problems. Any problems solve చేయడానికి best way ఏంటి నాన్న? Militarism is the best way. So the expenditure, all the six powerful countries, six industrial countries, they expended so much amount on militarism. They increased more than three times. They expended more than three times on militarism. So much amount they expended on which? Militarism. So in 1880, the industrial countries expended 130 million amount on the militarism. But in 1904, the industrial countries they expended 397 millions of amount on the militarism. So this militarism, and means all the industrial countries are expended so much amount or a heavy amount on which? Militarism. What they believed, all the industrial countries they believed the militarism is the best way to protect or to solving all the problems. So there are three important things are there in the militarism. The firstly, all the industrial countries, all these countries had built massive standing armies or massive standing armies for their defense. Firstly, what they built first? They built massive standing armies. So they recruited so many armies in the defense. Secondly, they competed with each other for increasing military weapons. Firstly, they recruited so many standing armies for their defense. Secondly, what they do? They competed each other, and means they increasing military weapons. So one by suppose Germany increased some weapons and France also increased so many weapons. Means they are competed with competition. They competed with each other. The countries are increased military weapons. The third, they also encouraged people to support in the war. Thirdly, the industrial countries in established industries of weapons. Industries of weapons industries also established in their countries and promoted. So the weapons, and they promoted idea of using war is the solution for diplomatic problems. To solve all the problems, what is the best way? War is the best idea. The idea was created by the industrial countries. War is the best solution to diplomatic problems. This is the fourth reason, that is the militarism. So here all of you show your all of you see this graph. In 1880, The militarism expenditure is 132 millions, but in 1904, 1914, the military expenditure is 397 millions. So every year, every 10 years, the militarism expenditure was increasing. Means all the six industrial countries are expended so much amount on militarism. The fifth reason is Balkan politics. There were Balkan politics means there were so many small kingdoms, smallest kingdoms are there in Balkan Peninsula. So Balkan Peninsula, it is belongs to Europe continent. So all the world was also begun in which continent? Europe continent. So people in the Balkan Peninsula, which is Balkan countries are surrounded around the Black Sea and Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea. Around the places, Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea, so many small kingdoms are there. These small kingdoms, in these small kingdoms, so many sections of people, different language people are living. They are being ruled. The Balkan peoples or Balkan Peninsula peoples are under control of Ottoman Turkey Empire. So, but unfortunately, the Ottoman Empire was falls down. After that, the Austria and Germany, Turkey, Russia competed with all this Russia, Austria, Turkey competed for the supremacy over that Balkan Peninsula. Moreover, Russia and Turkey also trying to control Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea region into their hands. But it was created so much tension during the around the Black Sea region and Mediterranean Sea. During the same time, Austria was trying to suppress the Serbian rebels in Bosnia because Bosnian rebels, Bosnian peoples, the fight against to the Austria. So because Serbia is under control of Austria, that's why the ruling is very bad in Serbia. So the Serbian rebels are attacked on Austria. So the next one reason, last reason is immediate cause. On June 28th, 1914, a Bosnian Serb assassinated the crown prince of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So the Austria prince was assassinated by the Serbian rebel. The king was assassinated by the Serbian rebel. The king name is, the prince name is Ferdinand of Austria. Ferdinand. Ferdinand belongs to which country? Austria. Though Ferdinand is assassinated by which people? Serbian people. Serbian people. So Bosnian Serb means he belongs to Bosnia country, but he lived in Serbia. Bosnian. The Ferdinand was assassinated by Bosnian Serb. So Serb means if the person is belongs to Bosnia, but he lived in Serbia. So next, so Austria asked the Serbia for, about explanation why you murdered, why you assassinated our king. But they given unsatisfactory explanation, unsatisfactory reply. That's why in July 28, 1914, the Austria attacked on Serbia. So this is the immediate cause for the First World War, or immediate reason for the First World War. What is the immediate reason? The Serbian attacked, Serbian young people or a Serbian young person was attacked on or assassinated Ferdinand. So that is the immediate reason the First World War. As Serbia was one side, the Serbia is Serbia taken support of Britain, France, and Russia, but Germany and its allied group also decided to jump into the war, and Germany, Austria, Hungary also involved in this war. This is was called First World War. The First World War involved the which countries are why the First World War came in, which countries are involved? Britain, France, Russia, and involved. After that, Germany and its allied powers also involved in the First World War. First War is now going on. On the behalf of Austria, the people which the behalf of Austria, which countries was participated? The countries we call as central powers. Central power countries are Austria, Germany, Italy. Central power countries are Austria, Germany, Italy, or countries are central power countries. Britain, France, Russia countries are allied power countries. The war began between central powers and allied powers. So Central powers and allied powers. So the war was going 1914 to 1908, but in 1917 the Russia was withdrawn from the war. Because why Russia was withdrawn from the First World War? Due to internal revolution in the Russia was withdrawn in 1917. Russia made a agreement with Germany and withdraw from the First World War. After that, US also participated. US also jumped into America also jumped into the war behalf of allied countries. Why? Because the USA entered into the First World War because German troops sunk USS commercial ship in Lusitania. So in Lusitania, German troops were sunk a commercial ship of USA. That's why USA was entered into or jumped into the First World War. Finally, the First World War began. First World War happened between Central Power countries and Allied Power countries. Central Power countries are Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Allied Power countries are Britain, France, Russia. The war is going 1914 to 1918. In that First World War, Allied powers are victorious countries, and Central Power countries are defeated countries. After completion of First World War, they made so many agreements between allied countries and Central Power countries. We will discuss the agreements in later class.